Social media platform X, formerly known as Twitter, has been hit with a $610,000 fine by Australia's e-safety commissioner. Julie Inman-Grant is the e-safety commissioner and she joins me now. Julie Inman-Grant, thank you for your time. Why was it necessary to issue this fine to X?
Well, under the Online Safety Act, we have legal compulsion or transparency powers where we're asking companies what they are doing or not doing to keep children and Australians safer online. Now, this was about the worst kind of harm, child sexual exploitation, as well as sexual extortion. And we need to make sure that companies have trust and safety teams. They're using people, processes, and technologies to tackle this kind of content. And frankly, X did not provide us with the answers to very basic questions we'd asked them, like, how many trust and safety people do you have left? Now, that's critical to really understanding not only the scope of the problem, but also the scale.
What happens if X doesn't pay this fine in 28 days? Will your office take further action?
Well, we have a number of options. They can request that the infringement notice be removed. If they don't pay the fine within 28 days, then we at eSafety can take them to a civil penalty proceeding, take them to court. And depending on what the court decides, the overall fine could be much higher, up to $780,000 per day from the time that they're found being out of compliance since March.
You've also asked for a please explain from Twitter in June about hate content on its platform. Have you received a response, and how much of this is to do with those workforce shortages since Elon Musk bought the platform?
Well, I'm sure eviscerating the trust and safety team has something to do with it, but these companies have a fundamental responsibility to make sure that the platforms that hundreds of millions of people are using around the world are safe. We expect car manufacturers to embed seatbelts. We have food safety standards. The Australian government just last week made sure that toys that were faulty had safety protections. The technology companies should not be any different. So the online hate notice against Twitter X is an ongoing regulatory investigation. We're in consistent conversations with Twitter X to try and get the information we need to make a determination about whether they're doing enough to tackle online hate.
You also found in this report that Google was not using its own technology to detect child sexual abuse videos. Google has responded. It said in a statement, "We remain committed to these efforts and collaborating constructively and in good faith with the e-safety commissioner, government and industry on the shared goal of keeping Australians safer online." Are you satisfied with that response?
That's a great platitude, but what this procedure has us do is say, put your actions to your words. And if you can't answer basic questions about where the technology that you've developed is not being used on major platforms like Gmail and chat and messaging, then you're not eating your own dog food. And we expect companies like Google that are mature, that have a lot of resources, that have developed great technologies that they're licensing to others, to use them across the suite of their platforms. Otherwise, they're creating hunting grounds for predators, and they're allowing child sexual exploitation material to be not only hosted, but also shared.
Who is doing well in this space?
Well, I don't think there is any total paragon of virtue. I would say in this particular process, TikTok was probably the most transparent and showed that they were doing the most. Twitch also, having had a pretty bruising experience with the Hawley attacks, of terrorism attacks being live streamed on Twitch, learned a lot and have put more technology into detecting illegal content on their live streams. Again, more can be done, and the whole purpose of this is to shine a light on what companies are and are not doing, and then to use our other powers, like our codes and our standards and what we call periodic notices, to make sure that they're lifting their safety standards and practices.